Did you know that there is a volcano that expels blue lava? Did you know that paper made from sand already exists? Did you know that they have created a coffee that tastes like coffee but is transparent? All this and much more today on Colin the Curious. In Indonesia, the Kawah Ijen volcano offers a striking natural phenomenon. At night, the lava appears to glow an intense blue. However, this glow isn't actually lava, but sulfur gases that ignite when exposed to air, creating a unique and almost magical spectacle in the darkness. This rare phenomenon attracts scientists and adventurers from around the world who seek to witness it firsthand. Famed actor Dwayne Johansen, better known as The Rock, was overcome with tears as he received a 15-minute standing ovation from critics and audiences at the Venice Film Festival for his outstanding performance in The Smashing Machine. The film, which premieres November 13th, and tells the story of Mark Kerr, the legendary mixed martial arts fighter who became an icon of the sport, but struggled with addiction and a turbulent personal life. For Johnson, this role represented an intimate project that required him to show vulnerability and emotional depth. Critics hailed his performance as brave and transformative, and one of the best of his career. Scientists at Nanyang Technological University in China have created a robot capable of carrying a human baby in 10 months. An artificial intelligence selects suitable sperm and eggs, which are then inserted into the robot's artificial uterus, which receives nutrients through a hose installed in its abdomen. The robot is not an incubator, as it can replicate the entire pregnancy process, from conception to birth. The technology has already been successful in animals and is expected to help infertile women. However, it has received numerous criticisms. Critics point out that it is cruel for a fetus to be born without a mother's connection. These robots are expected to be launched as prototypes, costing approximately $14,000 within a year. Do you think this practice is ethical? I look forward to reading your comment. In the 19th century, in Venice, Italy, there was an invention as curious as it was scandalous. It was called a vanvera. And what was its purpose? Well, something we all do, but no one wants to admit in public, hiding the sounds and smells of farts. Yes, that's right. The vanvera was a leather bag that was discreetly placed under clothing, designed to muffle the sound and neutralize the smell, conveying it to a window via a tube. Basically, it was the first silencer in history, not for guns, but for butts. Although it may seem funny today, at the time it was seen as an etiquette invention, perfect for keeping up appearances in high society. Further proof that human creativity knows no bounds, especially when it comes to hiding the inevitable. The warm waters of the Caribbean are home to the feared and fascinating fireworm, a marine animal that seems straight out of a myth. Its body is covered with hundreds of white bristles that glow like burning embers in the light, giving it a hypnotic appearance. However, its beauty hides a danger. These bristles contain venom capable of causing intense and painful burns upon contact with the skin. Although it is a feared creature, it also inspires admiration among divers who dare to observe it up close. Wait a minute. I need you to see something. How is it possible that 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel? Remember that subscribing is free! The more of us there are in the community, the more videos like this I can continue to make. Support the channel with your subscription, give me a like, and leave a comment for the algorithm. Believe it or not, this hairbrush is more than that. It's a disguised defense weapon. The hair fryer brush conceals a high-voltage stun gun for women who want to feel safe in the event of an attack. By removing the brush and activating the safety button, it becomes an electric shotgun that can paralyze the attacker. It also has a flashlight and is USB charged. Its head is removable and washable, so you can use it as a brush, and its safety system prevents accidental activation. Would you buy this brush? Leave your answer in the comments. In South Korea, some publishers have begun printing books using seed paper, a biodegradable material containing tiny seeds embedded in its fibers. After finishing reading, readers can bury the pages, give them as gifts, and watch flowers, basil, or even tomatoes sprout. This innovative idea unites reading with sustainability, allowing a story to live on long after the last page. It's a poetic and ecological way of transforming literature into nature. In 1770, the young Mozart, barely 14 years old, traveled to Rome with his father Leopold. There, he attended a solemn Holy Week ceremony in the Sistine Chapel, where he heard Gregorio Allegri's Miserere me Deus, a choral work jealously guarded by the Vatican, and whose copying or distribution was prohibited under threat of excommunication. This piece was transmitted orally. It was not written down. Its beauty deeply impressed Mozart, who, according to legend, managed to transcribe it from memory simply by hearing it. Many experts indicate that his version is surprisingly faithful to the original. The copy was published in 1771. Pope Clement II, instead of punishing him, surprised him by awarding him a Knight of the Order of the Golden School, recognizing his exceptional talent. Check out this device from the Apexel microscope team. It's a microscope adapter for your phone's lens. It weighs 17.5 grams and costs $41, turning your smartphone into a microscope with up to 200x magnification in a matter of seconds. I've already ordered mine. What about you? Will you buy it? Let me know in the comments. Although it may seem unusual, in 2010, a Spanish woman named Maria Angeles Duran declared herself the owner of the sun. All this due to a legal loophole that allowed her to do so. Maria, a psychologist and lawyer by profession, used her legal knowledge to draw up the notarial deed, declaring her the owner of the sun. She argues that since there hasn't been a previous owner in 5 billion years, ownership belongs to her by adverse possession. She even attempted to sell portions of the sun on eBay, and later sought to tax humanity for the use of sunlight. Interestingly, she received numerous lawsuits from people seeking compensation for skin cancer and other diseases. In Romania, there is a fascinating place, the Scarishwara Cave, which hides an underground glacier considered one of the oldest in Europe. This block of ice is estimated to be more than 3,000 years old and contains around 120,000 cubic meters of ice. Discovered in the 19th century, the cave attracts explorers and scientists who study its frozen layers to understand what the climate was like in ancient times. Entering it is like stepping back in time to an ice age that still breathes beneath the earth. We know how tedious it is when our food gets cold, when we take it to work or on a trip, and we don't always have something to heat it up right away. Well, not until now. The East Oak Electric Lunchbox is a lunchbox for adults that heats your food using a rechargeable battery. It has a memory function that remembers your settings so you don't have to adjust it every time you use it. Plus, it has a divider, so you can separate meats from vegetables or sauces. It's priced at $105. It's definitely something we'd like to buy for trips, don't you think? The Hawaiian Islands are home to a small but amazing fish called the Sissiopterus stimpsoni, also known as the mountaineering fish. Despite its tiny size, it possesses the incredible ability to scale waterfalls several meters high using its mouth and suction cup-like fins. This behavior allows it to ascend wet rock faces to reach calmer, more remote areas, away from the cold, where it lays its eggs. It is one of the few known fish to perform such an extraordinary physical feat. An aquatic creature with the spirit of a mountaineer. There's a scientific experiment that allows you to create a real cloud inside a simple plastic bottle. All it takes is a little hot water, air, and a lit match to release microscopic particles. When you cap the bottle, press it firmly, and quickly release it, the vapor condenses and forms a visible cloud inside. This experiment is used in schools around the world to teach the principles of atmospheric physics in a fun and visual way. A miniature storm you can hold in your hands. In Peru, scientists have discovered a spider of the genus Cyclosa in the Amazon rainforest that is capable of constructing three-dimensional replicas of itself using its silk. These figures simulate the spider's body, and when a predator approaches, the spider shakes the web, making the replica appear to move. In this way, the predator attacks the replica, and the real spider escapes. This behavior was first observed in 2012 and represents one of the most sophisticated examples of visual deception. Phil Torres, an entomologist who documented the phenomenon in Tambopata, Peru, stated, "It's as if the spider understands how its predators see it and uses that against them." In these technological times, robots are helping us with many tasks, but can you imagine them replacing our pets? If you don't believe it, check out Miko 3, a robot that teaches games and educational content to your children, interacting with them like a real child. The Ruko 1088 can tell stories, do gymnastics, or play music for your children, showing emotions. Eilic, on the other hand, will make you laugh and get a different reaction just by touching it. Luna is a robot dog that understands gestures and reacts in real time, and you can speak to it with voice commands. It plays with you and entertains your children with its interactive screen. The Joy for All is a robot shaped like a dog or cat that makes soft, tender pet sounds and movements, ideal for older people. Which one would you buy and why? Leave your answer in the comments box. Wolfia globosa, also known as water rice, is the smallest flower in the world at just 1 millimeter in size. At first glance, it looks like a tiny green dot floating in water, but it hides great nutritional potential. Despite its microscopic size, it contains high levels of protein, iron, and antioxidants, making it a surprising supplement. In some Asian countries, it is already consumed as part of the traditional diet, added to soups and stews. A natural miniature with gigantic power. The anti-gravity A1 is the first drone capable of recording in 8K and 360 degrees, leaving no blind spots. Thanks to its 2 lenses and an advanced digital stitching system, the drone itself disappears from the footage, creating clean and fully immersive aerial shots. It weighs only 249 grams, making it more practical and easier to fly without many restrictions. One of its major innovations is gesture and gaze control, allowing intuitive control. For those who film events, it opens up the possibility of capturing concerts, weddings, or festivals from every angle, as if the viewer were actually there. Meet Manul the cat, a kitten that lives in the cold mountains of Nepal, Mongolia, and Tibet. He differs from other felines in his thick, soft fur that protects him from the cold. His ears are small and widely spaced, with a flat face and short legs. Females can gestate in 76 days, giving birth to up to 7 kittens. He feeds on rodents, rabbits, and fences. Sadly, he's considered almost endangered due to poaching and habitat destruction. He's a wild cat, but he's still cute, don't you think? A team from China's University of Petroleum has successfully created paper using desert sand. Yes, it sounds unreal, but nothing is surprising in China. The new material known as stone paper is made from desert sand rich in calcium carbonate and agricultural waste, such as cotton stalks. This innovation represents an ecological alternative to the traditional paper industry, which is highly dependent on deforestation and water consumption. This new paper is waterproof, durable, recyclable, and completely chemical-free. Mobile factories are being deployed in the Taklamakan Desert, creating jobs and reducing logistics costs. A group of dogs with their medical supplies watching the operation on a stuffed animal they had torn with their teeth while playing went viral on social media. The clip went viral because the three remained still and seemingly preoccupied, like scolded children watching the operation. In Canada, a 75-year-old woman named Gail Lane lost her vision due to a disease that destroyed her corneas, leaving her sight for about a decade. However, everything changed in August 2025. Gail regained her vision thanks to an operation in which one of her eyes was replaced with a tooth. In Scotland, Ebenezer Place is considered the shortest street in the world. It measures just 2.06 meters and has only one door, the entrance to the Mackay's Hotel. It was officially registered as a street in 1887 and has held its curious world record ever since. Despite its tiny size, it attracts thousands of tourists each year who stop to take a photo in front of the sign bearing its name. Some visitors even cross it from one end to the other just for fun. A corner so short you could lose sight of it in the blink of an eye. Meet Bastien Dos, a French acrobat who turns gravity into an illusion. What makes him unique is the curious device he created for his shows, a huge rotating structure similar to a seesaw that seems to defy the laws of physics. On this moving bar, Dos balances, jumps, and glides as if he weighed nothing, transforming each movement into a true living sculpture. His shows aren't just acrobatics. They're pure poetry in motion, where engineering and art meet in the most unexpected ways. Would you like to try his seesaw as much as I do? Wallace's frog, also known as the flying frog, is native to Southeast Asia and has a surprising ability. It can glide between trees thanks to the membranes that connect its legs. By opening them like wings, it can travel up to 15 meters in a single leap, controlling its direction in the air like a natural glider. This trick helps it escape predators and move between branches without touching the jungle floor. A small amphibian, tiny but with a talent worthy of a superhero. In England, one of the most enigmatic geoglyphs is found, the Cerne Abbas giant, a gigantic figure carved into a hill depicting a naked man with an enormous club. The curious thing is that, in addition to its enormous size, it is also said to conceal symbols of fertility and power. Its origin is a mystery. Some believe it was the work of the Romans. Others think it was created in the Middle Ages as a political satire. Despite the centuries, the figure remains intact thanks to local maintenance. What figure would you carve into a mountain that would last for thousands of years? Did you know there's an ancient technique that transforms metal into true works of art? It's called Cloisonne, and it originated in the ancient Byzantine Empire around the 6th century, although it later reached its peak in China during the Ming and Qing dynasties. The process begins with a copper or bronze base, on which fine metal wires are placed to form patterns and compartments. These tiny spaces are filled with brightly colored enamels, and then the piece is fired at high temperatures. The result is spectacular: jewelry, vases, and decorative objects that look as if they were painted with fire, with a shine that never fades. Cloisonne is not just craftsmanship, it's the perfect union of patience, precision, and eternal artistry. In Norway, an artist took music to the next level by building a piano made of ice, from the keys to the strings. Each part of the instrument was precisely carved from frozen blocks. The piano can only be played for a few hours as it slowly begins to melt in the heat of the environment. The most fascinating thing is that the sound changes depending on the temperature, making each performance unique and unrepeatable. A mother duck interrupting a wedding ceremony by crossing the venue with her ducklings went viral on social media. The moment sparked laughter and awe among the wedding attendees. A guest recorded it, and the video was made in just a few hours. In Japan, the Sagano bamboo forest, located in Arashiyama, Kyoto, is considered one of the most magical places on the planet. Its paths, surrounded by towering stalks, create a natural tunnel where light filters through in a unique way. But the most impressive aspect is the sound. When the wind blows through the bamboo, it produces a hypnotic sound that has been recognized as a World Sound Heritage Site. Walking there is like entering another world where nature and spirituality intertwine in an unforgettable experience. The rainbow eucalyptus, native to the Philippines and Indonesia, is one of the world's most striking trees due to the multicolored appearance of its bark. As the outer layer flakes away, it reveals a brilliant green that eventually transforms into shades of orange, red, purple, and brown. This natural process creates a visual effect, as if the trunk were hand-painted with vivid brushstrokes. In addition to its beauty, the tree can reach over 70 meters in height, making it a natural spectacle impossible to ignore. In Greece lies Meteora, a unique place where enormous rock formations rise like pillars into the sky, and monasteries that seem to float in the air were built on their summits. For centuries, these temples were refuges for monks seeking spiritual isolation and protection. Today, they are part of the World Heritage List and attract thousands of visitors who marvel at the combination of nature and architecture. In several African countries, giant African rats have been trained to perform a surprising mission, detecting landmines hidden underground. Thanks to their keen sense of smell and light size, they are able to identify unexploded explosives, making them true silent heroes. These animals work alongside demining teams and have helped save thousands of lives by clearing seemingly uninhabitable terrain. The most impressive thing is that, in addition to being fast, they are also very precise in their work. Stig Severinsen, a Danish freediver, stunned the world by holding his breath underwater for 22 minutes, breaking a world record. To achieve this feat, he trained his body with yogurt, meditation, and absolute mental control, minimizing his oxygen consumption. His feat not only demonstrated the incredible human capacity to overcome physical limits, but also the power of discipline and self-control. A true example of how the mind can take the body to the impossible.
22 minutes.
I knew they were creating drones for everything, but I never thought about a drone that floated. China surprises us again. A group of engineers developed this drone called the TY3R, which is capable of flying towards a person in danger, landing in the water, and acting as a float until the person is rescued. Yes, I'm wondering the same thing. How waterproof is it? Well, let me tell you. It has IP68 certification, which means it can be submerged up to 1 meter deep for 30 minutes. It's designed to withstand strong waves and winds, and can support the weight of up to 2 adults in the water. The Amorphophallus titanum, also known as the corpse flower, is one of the largest flowers in the world, and also one of the smelliest. Its smell resembles that of rotten meat, which attracts carrion insects to pollinate it. This plant can take years to bloom, and when it does, its flower grows up to 3 meters tall. It only remains open for a few days. Despite its stench, it is a botanical event that attracts thousands of curious onlookers. Sony is preparing to launch its new PlayStation 6. Leaks indicate that this new PlayStation will have 825 gigabytes of storage, a system for games up to 8K. It will also be available in portable and desktop versions. In its portable version, it allows you to take your game library anywhere without losing performance or visual quality. It will also offer more advanced voice assistance and fluid augmented reality, making your experience as realistic as possible. It is expected to be released in early 2028 and could cost between $400 and $500. Would you buy it? Slavisha Pajkic, nicknamed Battery Man, has the incredible ability to withstand electric shocks that would render anyone unconscious. His body seems to function as a natural insulator. He can store current, light bulbs with his hands, and even heat water, using only his electricity. He has been studied by scientists who, although they haven't fully explained how he does it, are a human being who seems straight out of a comic book. Did you know that the church publishes a list of books banned for being considered immoral or harmful to the faith? The Index of Prohibited Books, as it was called, was published by Pope Pius IV in 1564 in its first edition and was removed until 1969 at the Second Vatican Council, meaning it remained in effect for nearly 500 years. Its purpose was to protect the faithful from ideas the church considered dangerous. Reading these banned books could lead to ecclesiastical sanctions and even persecution by the Inquisition. Works by authors such as Machiavelli's The Prince, books by Erasmus of Rotterdam, René Descartes, David Hume, Galileo Galilei, Nicholas Copernicus, Kant, Nietzsche, and others, whose scientific discoveries challenged the beliefs of the church, were also banned. Wow, what a disturbing fact, don't you think? A Slovak innovator surprised the world by creating the first transparent coffee, called CLR-CFF. At first glance, it looks like bottled water, but when you taste it, it tastes just like a traditional cup of coffee. It also contains the same amount of caffeine, so it also does its job of keeping you awake. The secret lies in a high-pressure filtration process that completely eliminates the brown color without altering its aroma or flavor. It was specially designed to prevent tooth stains. A drink that wakes you up without leaving a visible mark. One of the world's strangest flowers grows in Asia, the Takachantrieri, known as the bat flower. Its petals are so dark purple, they resemble wings spread out in the shadows, and long, whisker-like filaments emerge from them, some measuring up to 70 centimeters. This plant typically flourishes in humid, tropical climates, and its mysterious appearance has made it a highly sought-after species among collectors of exotic flowers, a unique flower that seems straight out of a fantasy story. On Christmas Island, an Australian territory in the Indian Ocean, one of the most impressive animal migrations on the planet takes place. Every year, more than 45 million red crabs leave the forests and travel kilometers to the sea to breed. Roads, trails, and even backyards are completely covered with these crustaceans, transforming the landscape into a veritable moving red river. Residents build tunnels and special diversions to protect them along the way. It's a unique, natural spectacle that makes the island the scene of a phenomenon worthy of admiration. In Nigeria, there is a very peculiar place known as Igbo Ora, nicknamed the Village of Twins. There, the birth rate of twins is the highest in the world, a phenomenon that has surprised scientists and curious observers alike. Although there is no definitive explanation, it is believed that genetic factors and the local diet, rich in yams and green leaves, may play a role. The inhabitants consider it a blessing and celebrate each birth with pride. Strolling through its streets is like entering a world where doubles are the norm. In the plant world, orchids have developed surprising strategies to ensure their reproduction. Some species mimic not only the shape, but also the scent of female insects, successfully deceiving males. When the latter attempt to mate with the flower, they end up covered in pollen, which they then transfer to other orchids. This biological trick has evolved over millions of years and is a fascinating example of how nature can deceive in order to survive. A floral strategy that combines beauty, cunning, and a touch of natural illusion. Today's trip is over. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.